From political organization, let's talk now about social organization of China. The royal family and allied noble families occupied the most honored positions within the Chinese society. They resided in large palatial homes and they subsisted on agricultural surplus and taxes. Because of the high cost, bronze was out of the means of ordinary people, so conspicuous consumption of bronze set them apart from less privileged classes. Ruling elites possessed a lot of bronze weaponry and objects, and this ensured their military strength and political hegemony. They supplied their households with cast bronze tools and utensils. Ruling elites consumed bronze in staggering quantities. The tomb of a Zhou provincial governor contained a collection of bronze weaponry and objects that weighed as much as 11 tons. A class of hereditary aristocrats rose from the military allies of the Shang and Zhou rulers. Aristocrats possessed landholdings and they worked administrative and military tasks. By Zhou times, many lived in cities where they obtained an elementary education and that enabled them to enjoy a higher standard of living. Manuals of etiquette instructed these elites in the proper way to behave and also outlined the proper way to carry out rituals. A small class of free artisans and craftsmen worked in the cities of ancient China. Some enjoyed a reasonably comfortable existence. For example, during the Shang dynasty, bronzesmiths were often living in houses built of pounded earth. Although modest, these were actually expensive because of the amount of labor required to make a pounded earth construction. Jewelers, jade workers, embroiderers, and manufacturers of silk textiles also benefited socially because of their importance to the ruling elite. There is little information about the merchants and trade in ancient China until the Zhou, but archaeology shows long-distance routes may have reached China during the Shang dynasty. Despite mountain ranges and deserts, small-scale trade networks are linking China with lands to the west and to the south, as early as 3000 BC. For example, jade comes from Central Asia, and bronzesmiths were working with tin that came as far away as the Malay Peninsula in Southeast Asia. Mariners were probing the nearby waters for sea routes. Legendary accounts credit the King Yu with the invention of sails. Chinese mariners were using large oar-powered ships before 2000. And these watercraft were supporting fishing and trading with offshore islands even before the emergence of the first dynasties. By the Shang, Chinese ships were traveling to Korea. During the Zhou, shipbuilding became a business all along coastal China, and mariners during this time period discovered celestial navigation. A large class of peasants also populated the Chinese countryside. They owned no land, but provided the agricultural, military, and labor services for their lords in exchange for plots to cultivate, security, and a portion of the harvest. Women's duties were mainly indoors. They would spend their time winemaking, weaving, and cultivating silkworms, while men spend their time outside, working in the fields, hunting, and fishing. Few tools were available to cultivators until the late Zhou dynasty. Before then, they relied on wooden digging sticks and spades with bone or stone tips. Bronze tools were too expensive for peasant cultivators. There's also slaves, most of them POWs, and they performed the most arduous laborers, such as the clearing of new fields and the building of city walls. During the Shang, slaves were also amongst the victims sacrificed during funerary, religious, and other ritual observances.